Hey guys, so we're back at it again with the 66 Mustang here, and we've done a little bit since the last time we did it, so we'll just go over it again. We put this cross brace in here, help strengthen the front end, strut brace there, that's all new, and we did have a 1-inch plastic spacer, and that to me is really important because they have such a high alcohol content in the fuel nowadays that it evaporates in these carburetors, especially on an aluminum intake, because the heat rises up out of the engine through this into the carburetor, boils all the fuel out, and then you're stuck with no fuel in your carburetor. The nice thing about this car is he's going to have an electric pump on it, and so it's not that big of a deal. But we're putting a phenolic spacer on here anyway, and we've been working on trying to get the correct spacing to get under the hood without scratching. Sorry, under here. As you can see, we've been really close on this. Other people have been as well, so I'm trying not to scratch the paints. Right. Anyway, so we had a 1-inch spacer underneath. It worked just fine. And then, sorry, we had a 1-inch spacer here, and that worked fine because this had to clear this. Sorry, this had to clear this. I'm not watching this, I'm watching my own hand. Anyway, so I ended up trimming the new one that we had got down. I ended up getting it down to about a 1/4 inch. I even had to trim inside there to clear the jet and vent housings, and like did a whole bunch of work to try to make it fit. And then this air filter still didn't clear. So the problem with the air filter is it's got this ridge here, and that hits on this. So what we've come up with is a 1/2 inch spacer here and a 1/2 inch spacer, phenolic spacer. What we were trying to do was a 1-inch spacer there and a 1-inch spacer here. And so anyway, I got brand new studs and nuts for this. The 1-inch one had its own stuff. That one didn't work. So these are Canton studs and a Canton phenolic spacer, open plenum, and a 1/2 inch, oh sorry, 3/4 inch Edelbrock air filter spacer. So hopefully that'll work. We'll see here in just a minute, and guess we'll go from there. One more thing, when you're installing dissimilar metals together, these I'm pretty sure are stainless. I don't know what grade stainless they are, but there's a knife here, and I don't know if I can do that one-handed. Here, we'll put that here. Pretty high grade stainless. So stainless, pure stainless is non-magnetic. Partial grade stainless is semi-magnetic. As you can see, it kind of is a little magnetic. Anyway, either way, even if you're running steel, all these metals are dissimilar. Aluminum expands differently than steel does. Stainless steel expands differently than steel does. You will get galling and corrosion and all kinds of bad stuff going on in dissimilar metals. Carburetor's aluminum. Gotta watch with all that too. So what we're doing is putting a little bit of anti-seize on these, and that will help prevent these from locking up in that intake. And then if we need to, we can take these back out as needed. Long-term plans here, you know. Maybe we change the intake, maybe we change the carburetor, maybe we take the phenolic spacer off and we go injection. I don't know. But that at this point, we're prepping for the future. No idea what we're doing in the future, but we're just being prepared. So anyway, yeah, that's little 411. So just to reiterate on things, when you're using a spacer like this, you want a gasket on the bottom and a gasket on top. Otherwise, you're going to have some really nasty air leaks that you're not going to be able to find. Same with this here. Gasket on the bottom of this and gasket on top. Otherwise, you're going to start sucking dirt. You're going to wipe your engine out. So, always make sure you got gaskets everywhere. As silly as that sounds, make sure you're gasketed up. You always want to have no leaks as good as possible. Just like these plugs that I put in here. I put still wet pipe dope on it, Teflon, liquid Teflon for plumbing basically. And I put that on these plugs. It makes them easier to come out, but it also seals them because these plugs are tapered. The way pipe fittings go is they're tapered. They're not a straight thread pitch. So if you ever have to tap something with a pipe thread or a pipe tap, make sure you don't run that tap all the way down through that, because that will mess it up. Then you'll have straight threads. If you compare a regular tap to a pipe tap, it's tapered. So you gotta be careful with that. Anyway, I'll keep putting all this back together and we're gonna check the fit. Alright, we're gonna try and see how well this fit up here. So as you can see, we got gasket, spacer, gasket under the carb, and then I got the spacer under here, 2 gaskets, air filters on. Here we go. This is the first time trying to close the hood. What we're looking for is a little flex right here. Oh, yep, it's there. It's right here. It just touched. Dang it. Need to cinch that air filter down a little further, I think. Well, nobody's perfect, but I'm gonna try squeezing that down a little bit more and see if we can get it. It's real close though. Well, just cinched it down and we're touching right there. It is solid. It is right where that wing nut is for the air filter. So, oh goodness. Oh man, that is tough. I don't know how much more I can squeeze that down without squeezing that air filter. It's tight. That's just what it is. You can see just right there it was touching. The only other option I have is to put a regular wing nut on this and not this giant honking air filter nut, or a regular nut on there. I don't know, I really like the Ford emblem on it. Let me go see if I can find a regular nut for that thing and we'll try that and see if that'll fit. Mold that up. I'll be right back. Well, it's definitely not as pretty, but that may be what we need to make it work. So let's try that, and then I'm gonna go inside and get some Play-Doh. Benefit of having kids, right? There's actually flex in the hood here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there was not that before. That is right where that air filter is, so let's go get some Play-Doh. Alright, so Play-Doh. Benefit of having kids, right? We're gonna put that just right on top of that nut there, And that's going to touch down here, and we're just going to check for clearance. Clearance. And we're going to see what that looks like. I've used clay before. Really, whatever you got. Grease is a little messy, but you know, if that's what you got. I don't know how you're going to make a ball of it, but we're just pushing down on this here. Ooh, too much. Oh yeah. You can see it was touching there and here, and I don't know if that was just the hump I did with the hood or not, but man, that was really thin. Let me try that one more time. We're gonna reball this back up and try it again. All right, one more time. That's all I'm gonna do. So, you know, the big reason that we're doing this, if this paint was perfect and we happen to close the hood a little too hard, that right there would crack your paint, like as you can see has been done here. Not that this paint is 100% great, because, well, I mean, that's bare metal shining through. So, I mean, it is what it is, but that's a tip for, you know, later on. Maybe you get a different air filter or something. Oh yeah, that's better. That's way better. I got that much room. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. So when I pushed down on the hood too hard earlier, it flattened it. So that is really the room we have between there and here. So that's what we got for today. That's your tech tip of the day. And I think that's the end of that video I'm gonna have, and maybe I'll do a different one, finish our wiring or something. I got to do these battery cables. I got to run new battery cable from starter solenoid down to the starter. It's got a different aftermarket high torque starter, and it's going to need a signal wire that goes down and gives that signal to start more better. So anyway, I need to put this here ground wire underneath one of these bolts, so this is grounded as well, because I didn't do that either. Yeah, I mounted oh, that's what I did. I forgot about that. So we had a kill switch in here, real goofy looking, you know, not great. So we're taking that out, and I'm just gonna run a straight battery cable down and under. But I took that side of the battery cable, this one right here in my hands, I took this from here to here, and that's our new ground cable, because the one we had wasn't great, because yeah, basically it was just this, and I wanted a engine to chassis ground, because this bolts where that ground is, but I want a chassis ground, so that's going to be my chassis ground. And then this is going to act as a secondary chassis ground, which is straight to the negative cable, but it'll also help ground out this club, or starter cylinder. Anyway, so yeah, all the more progress we're going to do in this video, and maybe I'll put out another one later. I don't know. These things take forever to upload off this phone, so it is what it is. So maybe I'll just do a whole bunch of short little videos, like this one's 15 minutes. So much for short, right? Anyway, gotta keep you guys interested in this whole thing. Not that car guys aren't interested in this, but whatever. Now I'm just rambling. So we'll put out some more videos. We'll talk with you later.